Hey.
Okay, so this is James Edward Adams' family. All of the Adamses, except him. He is in Korea.
Okay.
But his wife, Nellie Dick Adams, is here. She will have a baby in about 2 weeks. That will be our great Aunt Dot, and I am named after her.
네.
This is Edward Adams,
Edward Adams.
Oldest son.
oldest son. Benjamin Adams, our grandfather.
Your grandfather,
Who
Benjamin.
is,
okay.
Second oldest?
Well, I'm just thinking he's almost 2 years old. So, and then this is Annie Laurie Adams Baird. This is her husband, William Baird.
Who is George Adams?
George?
No George Adams
not
here.
George Adams.
No.
Not born yet.
Later,
Okay.
yeah, he was born in 1907. He's not born yet. This was taken October 18th, 1899, just before 2 weeks before Aunt Dot was born. So
Edward Benjamin.
yes,
Okay.
so this is William Baird and his wife Annie.
Oh, William Baird.
Yeah, William Baird,
Oh, yeah.
because his wife is an Adams.
Oh,
And they're on furlough, so I think that is probably why all the Adamses came home to Topeka to see Annie and William Baird, because they had not seen them for 8 years. So
okay.
then the Baird children are John Baird, no, Will Baird, the little boy. Dick Baird looks like the youngest of the three sons, and John Baird, right there.
John Baird. Okay.
Right. And I think two and maybe three of them came back as missionaries later to Korea. And then James's mother, Nancy McCoy Hamilton Adams,
Oh, okay.
wife of Jacob.
okay.
Her husband died in 1881. She lived until 1913, so 14 more years.
Okay.
She was old. These are her 5 daughters, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And her son, oldest son, Philander. The son who is a twin with Annie Laurie is Arthur Lincoln. Arthur Lincoln gave the money to James Adams to build, Arthur Lincoln Adams,
Oh, this one.
and his wife here, his son.
Yes.
Arthur Lincoln Adams gave the money to James, his younger brother, to build the Boys Academy.
Okay. Kim
Yeah,
Middle School.
right here,
Yeah,
yes.
Okay.
And
Middle school.
and he said to his brother, James said to his brother Arthur, "Why don't you give me the money, and we will name it after Mother?
Oh,
We will dedicate the hall to Nancy Hamilton Adams, and you can give me the money." I think there may have been one other contributor, but James got that money directly. He did not go through the mission board. He asked his family for that. I think that maybe this is Lillian.
at the time, James
Yes, this is Lillian.
controlled whole missionary in Daegu. That's why he got money, and then he shared the money for the missionary.
No,
No,
no.
Just he and his brother.
just for
Now let me
The
tell them
school?
this. This was not, when they started, they built the school.
Yes.
They started the school in 1906,
oh, I don't know.
and then they built the building
yes.
in 1900. Well, it's either 1904, 1906, 1906, 1908. But
Yes.
they ran the school for 2 years, meeting in the church.
Oh, yeah.
And then they wanted a building, and so James Adams privately got the money for the building for this school by asking his brother, and I think this is his sister Lillian. I think her husband, her husband W. Mills, he might have contributed the rest of the money. So maybe Mills and Arthur gave him the $5,000 that was just for the school.
Oh, just
Nothing
for
else,
school.
just
Oh, okay.
to
Just
build the
for
school building. And he
Okay.
told the secretary of the Presbyterian board, we have the money for this school. I'm not asking for money. We just want your approval to build this school.
Oh, okay. I
And
got it.
so that's how it worked.
Okay, I got it.
So
지금 이게 이제 저기
yeah.
가게도 설명되어 있는 그건가요? 이게?
아니요, 그건 아니고 요 사진에 대한
아니, 그러니까 이
내용을
사진에
갖고
대한 간단한
예, 예.
순서. 예. 또 picture you explain.
This is the
또
key.
어떻게-
The key of
Right.
names to the
Okay.
picture. Yeah.
so
예,
standing back row top of picture,
Okay.
this would tell you who
yeah.
all those
Number
people
1,
are.
2, 3, 4. Okay. Yeah.
And then second row from top.
Okay.
Well, this
yeah.
William Beard is the second row. These
Oh.
people are further back, so that would include William Baird, Philander Adams, Arthur Lincoln Adams, and then brother-in-laws.
I got it.
I think W.W. Mills, wife of Lillian Adams, may have contributed to the Boys Academy building also, along with Arthur Lincoln. So then the third row
Okay.
is the sisters of James. He had 5 sisters. So Luella, her nickname was Ella, Annie Laurie, his mother, Nancy,
Yeah.
Nancy Adams. The oldest sister is Florence, I think. Yeah, Florence. Then comes one more sister is Mary, and then Lillian. Then there's Nellie,
Yeah. Okay.
the sister-in-law.
Okay.
And then the next row, children.
Yeah.
So that would be this row.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
front row.
Okay.
Benjamin.
Baby group.
Yeah, but there's 2 rows,
okay.
so if you want to
Parents.
know.
Yeah,
Because this one is Benjamin.
Okay.
There's Ned right there, Edward.
Okay.
And this one is John Baird. John Adams Baird.
okay.
Oh, Adams because his mother was Annie Laurie Adams.
Oh.
So,
Yeah.
okay, so you can
Yeah.
take a picture of both of
Oh,
those.
yeah. Okay. Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is Philander Adams.
Oh.
John and I went to Topeka, and some years ago, and there's a historical cemetery,
Oh.
and so this is.
Why cut your face?
Oh, there I am.
Bad picture.
John Pastor.
Because- He wanted to get the stone more than me.
Stone is Focus one stone. Yeah.
He got the pretty dress though.
Yeah.
Okay.
But this says Adams, but
Yeah.
then in the ground,
Oh.
in front, it says Philander Hamilton Adams, and he died before his brother. He was older. He was the oldest of the Adamses, I think. And I think there might be one other thing here because I think. No, I think I didn't take his wife. His wife was there too, but this is just. It was just for Philander and his wife and son. But then, this is very special. This one is the father and mother of Nellie,
No, really.
a whole different part of the cemetery, and much less expensive. So, Deddy A. Dick, her mother died early, 1886. Nellie was only 20. But her father, George Dick, he died 1913, the same year that James's mother died. So this is Nellie's parents, Dick, Nellie Grant Dick.
Nelly parents, branch.
Okay, so then,
Okay.
let me think, yeah, these are our grandchildren, you don't need those. Okay, so there's Philander. Okay, and this is a friend did this so I could find them. Do you have this?
No, I. Yeah.
It's
the
written
first time.
by Henry Bruin when he first came. Nellie was in Topeka, and so it is just, it's what the missionaries did for Christmas, and I love it because after the missionaries had Christmas, the Koreans came in and celebrated with them also. and we shared their pleasure and some of their dishes. Many were the expressions of gratitude exchanged on both sides as the little gathering separated after an evening spent in a heathen land in celebrating the birthday of him who came to bring light out of darkness. So it's by Henry Bruin.
한국 쪽 그 상황에 대해서 이제 크리스마스
예.
분위기에 대해서 하신 거네.
예.
This is
1899년.
This is from Nellie to James. And it's just a funny story because Edward had prayed for a baby sister. So then when the baby was born, his mother said, "Now what will you pray for?" And he said, "Shall I pray for another one?"
This is Edward, like 4 years old,
이거
Yeah.
as a boy.
밤새겠다. 이 가게도 나온다 이제.
예.
Most
Okay.
of this you want one. Said, "Shall I pray for another sister?" And his mom said, "Oh, no, no. Just thank him for the sister you have." So she was writing this back to James in Korea.
Yes.
And so it's just a cute children's story. You might not
Okay.
want it. And you asked me for like,
Yeah, right.
this might do it for you.
Genogram.
My Aunt Dot gave this to me. It's the Dick side of the family, but it will have Nellie and Okay, Nellie.
끝났네.
so she marries.
Yeah.
His nickname was Ned.
Okay.
She marries, and then there's my grandfather. Our Jim is my grandfather. There's
초령교육을
Edward,
다 끝났다.
Benjamin, Dorothy, George.
Yes.
오케이.
And then I come down. Here's Jimmy, my brother.
오케이.
Oh.
Here I am, Dorothy Lee,
I'm in there.
and my
Okay.
brother.
ancient.
We have one younger brother, Bob.
Okay.
And so, you want to copy that?
Yeah,
Yes,
okay.
of course.
Okay.
We need.
But you know, you don't have the second wife,
어,
Carolyn Babcock, because that's a different wife.
Oh, okay.
And that one is
복석이 안 들어가겠다.
예.
이걸로 찍어야 되겠다.
아니요, A3로 해가지고 요렇게 여기 지금 요거는 필요 없고요.
Yeah, you
요렇게만 있으면 됩니다.
you have to have.
그래도 원본은 같이 있으면.
So these are Nellie's brothers and sisters. So, but what you really want are her children.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you're going to fold it
Okay.
like this, because
Yes.
you want Edward, Benjamin, Dorothy, George.
나올 것 같은데.
요거를.
Yeah, you don't want this.
예, 카피.
This is by my grandfather, but I wanted you to see. I wanted you to see
Wow.
this.
음.
First white baby born at Daegu, Korea.
오케이.
But here he is, 1 year old.
1 year old.
Well, let me
우리-
think.
우리나라
Year and a half. He was a year and a half. He was born in January 1898 here.
그러니까 1898년도에 와서 1899년도에 대구에서 퍼스트 베이비를
It's
넣고
Benjamin,
벤자민. 오케이.
our grandpa.
And there's Benjamin.
Oh, he's a Benjamin.
Yeah,
Yes, it's
baby.
It looks like girl.
고,
they
이제
put all the babies in dresses.
Oh, really?
They had to wait
In
to
America?
yes until they could get out of diapers. Then they could wear pants.
I wonder
다른
why he
데
wore
다른
dresses.
사진도 저기 드레스를 입었더라고.
And so this is Benjamin Mount Herman, 1916 high school.
응.
Our
Yeah, I know,
grandfather.
you think so, looking at him.
1922 McCormick Theological Seminary. Our grandfather.
Oh, he was very handsome.
He was.
was.
아빠를
He was in seminary. That's his best looks.
So I don't know because he was an
got that
Andong.
Korea,
I don't know if you want him. You might want this one.
Looks wise.
Anyway, but this you're going to want this. This is Nellie. This is Nellie. This is her father, George Dick, and her two sisters,
아, 딸이 많아.
Anna, and it's written on the back.
오,
So Anna is Nellie's older sister. She got married in her living room. And Bertie, she's not really Bertie. She is, these are their nicknames, but Bertie is really, here she is. She's right here. Well, her name was Sarah Alberta. Anyway, nickname was Bertie. Okay, but this is Nellie in the black dress. That's Nellie.
가게도를 해놓으니까 잘 알고 계시는구나.
Okay, 1904 on furlough
오케이.
from here. And these are, this is here. This is the first compound before they went to their new house, I think. I think this is in the first house here.
In Daegu.
대구.
You know,
You know missionaries' house?
너는 이제 그 아마 그 짓기 전에 이제 퍼스트 그 하우스 같은데.
Yeah,
you know
okay.
the first house that they lived in that William Baird bought? I think this is here, and there is,
Is there Busan?
너너너 대구.
no, it's
Daegu?
here, because it's 1900.
1900.
Well, yeah. Let's see.
In Daegu maybe.
1900 November. Oh, because it was my Aunt Dot's birthday. She's 1 year old, and this is Edward, and that is Benjamin. He still has on a skirt.
Okay. Still skirt.
You know, I have. Yeah, I have.
Very interesting.
Now this one's dirty.
어,
You could have this one, but it's dirty, so you might just want to make a copy of that one because it's the same picture. But this,
same
okay.
picture.
this is Dorothy on the back of, I think it's the cook's daughter or something.
근데 이거 꼭지는
These are
말고 이거를 한 판씩 이렇게.
okay. These are a joke. Here they are with the birds. There is Edward. Here is Benjamin, and then Benjamin is an angel.
오케이.
Is she a babysitter?
This is Dorothy Adams.
Yeah. her.
This is the
Adams,
Korean.
Korean,
This is the
Korean,
Korean. It says Jung Kyung-ho is the son of Johnson's first cook. So this is a Korean boy, I think,
아, 보이래.
Carrying.
of the Johnson's first cook.
그
He looks also a
These
girl.
are
지금 이거 뭐
you have
Yeah.
you must have this picture. Everybody has this picture, right?
이거는 다른데 교회 아무도 없네.
예, 아무도 없어. 뭐 이런 것도 다 없습니다 지금.
이제 first
But these are all here in Daegu.
Okay.
This
Um,
one in this picture is his second wife, Carolyn.
Right. This is
So there's
Carolyn
all
Babcock
6 children in that picture.
and Mary and Henry. And this is 1917 in Neenah, Wisconsin. She came home because her mother was dying. And in the summer, James came because he could take the summer. And it's the first summer that the whole 6 children had been together because these boys had never seen Mary or Henry. And so it was a very precious summer to him because the family was together in Wisconsin. I think it was the last time that they were all together
Oh, okay.
because, you know, some went back to Korea, some went back to, they were just going back and forth. These are just my grandparents later. You don't need that.
Okay.
But I don't know. These are Benjamin, Dorothy Adams
도시 아담스.
in, I think maybe it's their new home. The new home that he built. So I don't know if you want those. But do you have this? Oh, you must have this, right? Everybody has that. This, I'm not sure where I got it from, but it's Boys Academy.
보이즈 아카데미. 소년학교 이제 대구.
Do you think this is that
장로교
first
소년학교.
building?
이게
그래서
개성학교입니다.
보니까 대구 대구
네, 개성 맞지 않습니까?
개성학교. 사립 개성학교.
예.
So is that the first hall, the memorial? Is that the hall that we? This is the hall we saw yesterday, Jim.
One with the basement.
Yeah.
예,
Yeah.
메모리얼 홀.
Yeah. So do you have this already? You probably had that picture, right? And then these. See, this is just gets to be. This is Edward Adams, Benjamin Adams,
Okay.
and then
And his wife.
이렇게 저기 설명을.
this is Andong. So you probably don't
Andong.
care about it. But this was the missionary. So I was hoping to see where my father's house would have been, but they said they were thinking they might live in this house.
Oh, okay.
But first they had an apartment. This I want you to have because this is a cow from the herd given by JEA.
아,
So he bought a cow from Japan and brought it to here. And so this is a cow from James Adams. He gave his son Benjamin a cow
Yes.
because of him having a little
We heard
daughter.
about this story in a article, but
what?
we don't have any photograph. But here,
Oh no, this is not. Well, we saw a cow picture down
Yeah.
in Busan.
Busan, yeah.
Yeah, but this is not. Yeah, this
Yeah,
is this is not the first cow. This is later
It's not-
cow.
Oh,
Yeah.
later. Oh,
Because
okay.
he gave one to Edward and then he gave one to Benjamin.
Okay.
And
그게
this is Edward Adams, his wife Sue, and his sister-in-law Phyllis. So I don't know if you want
이번
Edward
발행할
Adams
때는
pictures.
이런 사진이 좀
근데
삽입 들어갈 수
에드워드
있을까요?
아담스까지는 굉장히 우리한테 중요한 겁니다. 왜냐하면 그 안두하잖아요.
Okay, you don't need these. This is just PJ and
Okay,
Grandpa. But this you might want. This is the final home. I was hoping to see this,
아, 마지막
but it's gone.
오케이. 예, 예.
But this is
예.
this is the 1924 house
Okay.
that
1924.
James had built. So the,
I
right here,
Andong Bible
that's
Place.
Andong.
Okay.
But these are right here in Daegu.
Okay.
Yes.
And then
And then
same.
Yeah, yeah.
Wait, the same
Yeah.
thing. Do you know about? Remember we talked about this.
소래비치.
Yeah.
Okay, but there's a good ox cart man picture here that you're gonna like.
Very important.
The other animal
I think
pictures.
this is a good Korean picture,
어, 예.
but this is in the 20s.
equals 달구지.
And this is these junks were stranded. Well, it's at Sarai. How do you say that? Sarai. Sarai.
소래.
Sorae.
Yeah.
Sorae Beach. So you might want these for Korea pictures.
Okay.
And then this is not interesting. This is a.
Do you have a
and this is-
picture about 소래 Church?
I do not. I
Oh.
do not. This was just, they were going there for summer vacation. The missionaries would
okay.
go. You don't need that. That's Andong. This is my Aunt PJ. You don't need that. This is my Aunt Dorothy, who came and she taught, she was up at the foreign school in Pyongyang for 16 years. But you don't need this. This is the missionary Welbon, I think. But he was in Andong. And then my Aunt Dot. You don't need that. That was my father and a cousin in America. Don't need that. This is about Nellie Dick. Way back 1889, she was going to literary societies in Topeka, but not that interesting. You don't need that. This, okay, this is very special. This is
Okay,
here
picture.
in
Okay.
1905. Theodore Roosevelt's daughter, Alice, visited the missionaries.
Theodore Roosevelt was the president of the United States.
Oh.
His daughter,
Visit of Miss
the Rough
Alice
Riders, Teddy Roosevelt.
Roosevelt
Oh.
to take Daegu, 1905.
Really?
He was president right around 1900.
She's the one with the black scarf, and it has Nellie and James in this picture.
Who is Roosevelt's daughter?
Alice. She is.
Who is Alice?
She is the president's daughter.
Is there a
Yeah.
picture of her?
Oh,
Who's
this,
Alice?
this one
Ah,
right
this
here.
one.
Alice.
Ah,
오,
okay.
야.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, okay, so these are escorting her. She's in a sedan chair, supposedly. And then there's one picture. I think we can show you Nellie and James. There's Nellie. I think this is James. And these are their children, Ned, Dot, Ben. And there's Alice Roosevelt. So my grandfather wrote when Alice Roosevelt turned 85 years old, he wrote a letter to Alice Roosevelt in Washington, D.C. And she wrote back
어,
Alice Roosevelt.
Oh.
So she is now 85, and she says, "Thanks for your utterly delightful letter. It is the greatest fun to hear from someone who remembers that moment in Korea.
yeah.
You have recalled it vividly. Thanks for your birthday wishes. The same
This
to
is
you.
1969.
어,
The same to you when that auspicious day comes around." So, what year did she turn then, do you think?
I don't think it matters. She was
Okay.
85. so.
Oh, yeah, she turned 85. Okay. So then I gave you a copy of this.
Okay.
This is the letter from James to his mother Nancy when Nellie dies.
Oh.
And I think in this book, anyway, I think you have a typed copy of that.
오케이.
This is a letter about Nellie's death from Edith Johnson. And I think there's a typed copy somewhere. I can't quite remember. I think there's a typed copy somewhere. This is hard to read handwriting. But this is important.
어,
This is Annie Laurie writing for the Presbyterians about Nellie's death. So it was published in this. Nellie Dick Adams,
This is a woman.
written by
Yes.
Annie Laurie Adams Baird.
어.
So it's just this and this. So you probably want to copy that.
지금 아마 이제 넬리 애덤스가 뭐 여성 활동도 하고 전도도
예,
하고
그거
있는데
이야기를 하는 거예요.
이거는
And
그게
that's Nellie
된
right
게
there. You can't see her.
이렇게 문헌으로 된 건 없었잖아요.
예.
And that's James right there. And that's Ned, George, Dorothy, and where's Ben? Oh no, Ned was not there. He was gone to Che-Fu boarding school. So this is Benjamin, George is only 2 years old, and Dorothy, the Adams children when their mother died. So you want that to copy
Yes.
that? Okay, and it was published in Women's Work,
어, 오케이.
1910.
예.
So that's something you might want. This is the second wife, Carolyn. This was her family home.
어, 예.
In Wisconsin,
Right. And so,
and she was from a wealthy paper mill, paper products company, Kimberly Clark. Toilet paper and
but this is in America. You don't, in the same picture. I think this is my grandfather and Ned when they were in high school together.
하이스쿨.
And my grandfather.
that's Ben.
I think so, because I think we saw that picture someplace else. I gave you a good copy. This is his letter on Dorothy telling of her work experience. It was such a bad copy, I typed it up and gave it to you.
아, 오케이.
This is the one on war. I typed a good copy and gave it to you.
오케이.
This is my grandmother when she got married.
오,
Ben's wife, Phyllis. This is Ben being appointed by the mission board. But he was in Andong, so you're not as interested. This is my father's birth certificate. I don't know if you're interested in missionary
오,
conferences.
야. 어.
This is missionary.
Missionary conference?
Yes, annual meeting of the missionaries. 1928, here in Korea.
In Korea.
Yeah, but it's the missionaries, it's not the
All
Koreans.
missionaries? Or just
Yeah, all,
Presbyterians?
well, no, just the Presbyterian.
Presbyterian missionaries.
Yeah.
선교사들 모임이었는가 본데.
So I have 2 of those, and I can show you
좋아요.
where.
Do you know where it is?
I don't know.
1928.
In Korea?
Oh yeah, it was always in Korea.
Yeah, I mean city.
Yeah.
If it's not on the back, I don't know, but yeah, I don't know.
야, 이
But here is our grandfather, Benjamin, Phyllis,
이게 더
our
보이기도
father,
힘들었을
James,
텐데.
and our aunt PJ, and Phyllis. And I think
If their father's in there, you know it was.
that's
what
Will
year it
Beard
was.
right
예,
there.
역사 좀 아시는 분들한테 이렇게
Oh, it was our father's.
보여주면
Oh, and then we know the year. We
다들
just know the
얼굴이
place.
Oh, yeah.
찍어줄 것 같습니다.
Anyway, so those are.
깜짝 놀랄 것 같은데.
And this is 1934, right?
그런 것
Oh,
같은데. 오, 이게 다 있다.
well, but there's just a
Oh my.
few. There's just a few.
Amazing.
Like Edward Adams. He
67.
is. Edward
Six or
Adams
seven.
is right there. You see his head.
한 장씩도 하셨어요?
아니, 한 장씩은 안 되던데요.
안 되더라고요.
이걸 해보니까
어.
그 오히려 사진 화소도
포커스가 안 되잖아.
이렇게
하나씩
나오더라고요.
떨어지면 괜찮은데.
흑백이어가지고
제대로 안
이게
뜨는구나.
안 찍히더라고.
Okay.
예.
All right. Okay. So I don't know whether.
의자. 지금 아니 의자. 안
Let me see. This
영상을
probably.
뜨고 있어.
It probably has.
그러니까 의자를 하나 가져와서 있고.
Does it have Henry?
스캔을
Oh,
뜨는데
Henry
아마
Bruin. Here we go. 77.
스캔이 이제 이게 보면
Henry Bruin.
이게 설명이 이렇게 돼 있거든요. 이게 사진 찍는 것도
They can take a picture of that.
뒷장도 중요해요.
Yeah, but-
이걸 그냥 한 판에 다 놓고
77. There he is. Okay. I don't know if we can find him. He's right in the middle.
뒷장에 보면 앞장하고 뒷장하고 같이
이게
스폰을 좀 해야 됩니다.
이게 이 그림의 가게도 설명.
They might recognize him.
이게 이제 원 이제 이렇게 선생님이 서 있는 사람들 그룹, 앉아 있는 그룹 이거거든요. 이렇게 해주시고
이것도 한 장당
하고
뒤에
그다음에
설명.
넬리립 이렇게
요건 가게도고
가게도.
Okay. We have to tape it together.
이것도 같이 이렇게 일단 해주시면 됩니다.
다 낱개로
Okay.
예, 다 낱개로 해주시면 됩니다.
So this one has Henry Bruin
헬리 브루인.
and his second wife. But you're going to have to find him right there.
77?
Yeah. He's in here.
이걸
But
어떻게
you might recognize him.
어떻게 찾았지?
와.
Let's see. I don't think so.
If you get a magnifying
How can you
glass,
find?
you can see Henry.
It's not easy. My grandfather worked really hard to get this. Oh, so,
이런-
but I can show you. Ned Adams is right there. That's Ned
Yeah.
or Edward Adams.
Yeah, okay.
He's the one
Okay.
that started the college, the
Yeah.
Presbyterian College.
Ah.
And then the rest is
Very
1940. This is about Carolyn Babcock. I don't think you're as interested in her. Oh, this is interesting though because it has. There must have been. I didn't know about this, but 1971.
Oh,
She used to send me boxes of clothes when her daughters outgrew them.
Oh yeah, were they the? She wasn't one of the.
She was the mom of the Reiner girls.
Oh.
You know the Reiner girls,
Yeah.
Nancy and that one.
Yeah.
And so you can see Aunt Dot's relationship with her.
Yeah.
Like Mary's like, oh, Dot, you know, and she's giving her a hard time. Okay, so this is just California, Berkeley, Carolyn Babcock Adams. She had a home for missionaries to come to. But this is our grandfather,
어?
Benjamin Adams.
벤저민 아담.
And this is Richard Baird, who wrote the book about his father. So they were always best friends. They were the same age in Korea. Annie Laurie took both of them back to America to go to school in the summer of 1914. She spent the summer there with her older son John, her nephew Edward, her son Richard, and her nephew Benjamin. And she spent the summer there with them. Then she went home thinking she had been cured of cancer. It came back that year. She came back one more time, 1915. She was told, you're going to die.
Oh.
The cancer is incurable. Do you want to stay here or do you want to go to Korea? I want to go to Korea. She came back. She had to be in hospital in Japan for a while. She was so sick. But she got well enough to go home to Pyongyang to her husband. Say it right. Pyongyang?
평양?
Pyongyang?
오케이.
Anyway, to her husband,
Anyway.
to Will Beard, and she died there, and it was a huge funeral. The Koreans and she, you know, they really loved each other. Huge funeral. And then when William Beard died, he died up there too, and another big funeral because the Beards were so loved by the Koreans, and they loved them. They spent their lives here. So that is the Beard son who wrote that book.
예. 렌즈. 예.
Okay, I'm
Thank
sorry.
you. 아니요.
So this is Richard Baird, or his nickname was
okay.
Stick. Benjamin Adams, Dorothy Adams, Mary Adams, who married a missionary son. She married Eugene Reiner, son of R.O. Reiner, who was, I think he was the Boys Academy principal. Sometimes after James, R.O. Reiner took over. And Richard Baird, Benjamin Adams. That's all that is. I didn't know if you're interested. You don't need that. This was my Aunt Dot talking to someone in charge of the university, but 1980.
아마 이제 동산.
What was it about?
동산동이랑.
Okay, so I don't think that's important.
예.
This you probably have. This was published here in Korea because my father brought my grandfather.
오케이.
You probably have this.
오.
This.
대구 제일장로교회.
Oh, this is my. This
어제
is
예.
yes. This is
The
the
visitor 어제
yeah.
next
because they had taken a picture in front of that church, but it didn't come out. So he sent the picture of them with Mary Adams to my father because the picture with Benjamin did not come out. But here this is Benjamin in Seoul at the palace, and there he is. So he came back after about 50 years. My father brought him. He was almost 85 years old.
Was
My-
this at,
our father.
At the museum
I
college?
think this is the college, maybe.
That Ned started?
I think Edward Adams started the college. So I think this is at the college. Do you know?
No.
Okay. It's Edward Adams.
어.
And my father and our stepmother, Carol Adams.
And Benjamin, Edward's brother, right?
Correct. Our grandfather.
Edward Adams established college? No?
Edward Adams, yes. The university he started, Edward Adams.
김행대학교잖아요.
아,
김행대학교.
계명 University. Okay. I got
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
got it.
And then this, of course, you know this is in front of that church. But that's Mary Adams.
Okay.
And then this, if you're interested, this is something about Henry Adams. And then this is the youngest son, and he died in, he was 18, let me see, he was 18 years younger than my grandfather. He died about 2 months after my grandfather. But he was in Wisconsin. He was an academic. He had 3 or 4 or 5 degrees. And he was, he did a lot of different stuff. Anyway, then here is where James Adams is buried. James Edward Adams. It is in Berkeley, California. And my father is there because, and there's Carolyn Babcock Adams. My father and his sister are there because our great aunt Dorothy was going to have her ashes put here too. So this was 1997.
Was that Livermore?
No, that was the sanitarium he was in.
Oh,
This was Sunset Mausoleum, Berkeley, California. And that's our great aunt Dorothy, very near the end of her life. She did not get married, but she was a wonderful, happy person. And that's our father, right there. And our aunt, he was born in Korea. She was born in Wisconsin. So I don't know if you want that or not, but that's it. Because you have this book. Some friend printed this out for me because people forget the North Korea missionaries.
Okay.
Okay. But
We need to copy some
well, what do you want?
pictures and
Yeah, what do you
let me
want?
see.
Okay. I just started trying to.
내일 아침에 되는데 나 지금
지금 하고 돌려줘야죠. 내일 들릴 시간 없고 8시 반에 출발입니다.
You know what? I think I might have
Yeah,
given them the
지금 오늘
picture
다니는데.
of
오늘 새벽기도 때 갖다 주면 되나?
our
아니요, 오늘
grandfather, the
하고
Three Generations
보내야죠.
picture. I think it might be in the
빨리,
one I
금방
gave
빨리
them.
해드릴게요.
I kind of wanted to hold on to that one. Okay, so let's see what do you want, Pastor Park?
Okay.
I think you don't want most of this. This is more the continuity of history from one generation to the next.
And some of those you have typed.
Do we have?
Yes,
this
yeah,
copy?
because that's
Oh,
such.
okay.
It's so bad I typed it for you.
Okay.
I don't think you want Aunt Dot, but she was.
That's
She is Dorothy?
Benjamin's
No,
wife.
that's our grandmother,
Your grandmother.
Phyllis.
Oh, okay.
Phyllis Taylor Adams. Yeah. They got married in May of 1923, and they came to Korea.
She was in Andong also?
Yes.
Okay.
So they got married in May. They came to Korea in August. And I think they came to the Bruins first in Daegu.
We need this picture.
This is a conference, yeah.
Trying to think. Oh, I think it's to his mother that he said of Nellie. I thought it was to the mission board, but I think it was to his mother that he said of Nellie, she was a brave soul. But it's going to be hard to find that.
목사님, 그 벤자민 그 아담스가 그 이제 안동에서
예.
그 이제 사역을 했거든요.
예, 예.
벤자민 아담스 내용도 좀 같이 해놓을까요?
일단 뭐 해놓고
일단
나중에
해놓고.
하죠.
예.
Do you want the Alice Roosevelt visit?
아 이거 지금 아까 그 루즈벨트 대통령 딸.
예.
So Henry Babcock, he was 6, okay. So he was 9 when they went back to America the last time, Henry Babcock. I think you want that. Oh, there's my glasses.
Yeah.
I should be wearing them.
여기는 지금 우리가 쓸 내용은 없을 것 같아요.
이거요?
예.
아 이거 이제 그 기본 가계도고 이거는 지금 해야 되는데.
예, 그걸 하려고요. 그걸 빼놨습니다.
thinking that I have another one of these. But it's okay. She's not their missionary. And do you know about Missionary Sawtell? Missionary Sawtell, he died about 2 weeks after Nellie in 1909. Mr. Sawtell.
어,
Do you know about him at all?
I don't know.
Okay, well,
Mr. Sutton?
he was from here, and when we went to Andong, remember when we were in Andong yesterday?
Yes.
He was one of the founders of that church.
Sutton? Who is Sutton?
Missionary Sawtell. He is in pictures of Daegu because he and his wife and maybe a child were here, and then he got typhus and he died right after Nellie Dick Adams.
Oh, I don't know. Who
It's
is
okay.
Sutton?
He's a missionary. Taegu Station, but then he was going to Andong to start that station. Okay, so stuff that they don't need. This is Andong. They don't need that.
This one.
Yeah. You know, if you can't read the handwriting, I could type this for you and send it along.
Yeah.
I could help.
Oh, can you?
Yeah, I could do that and send it from Kansas.
Please.
Yeah.
Please. Oh, but
It's just a cute story.
this is original letters.
Yeah, you should.
That's why we need
You
to
should copy it for
Yeah.
the handwriting.
Okay.
But then I could type it up
Thank
what
you
it
very
really
much.
says, because it shows Nellie's. She was actually had a playful personality. I don't know if you. She was actually just a fun person. I don't know how to say that, but I don't think you need these because they're not Daegu. And I'm wondering,
Oh, Nellie Dick's genogram.
yeah, I think it's too much information.
Yes, I think
But
so.
her father was a doctor, George Dick. You might just want to get this much. And her mother, see, her mother died when Nellie was only 20, 1866. So her mother died when she was 20. Her father lived quite a bit longer. But you don't need all that stuff. Our James,
Your
oh yeah,
mother's.
our
father.
grandfather,
Our grandfather.
our grandfather,
Yeah, right.
yes. And you need, skip all that, you need this is the first white baby born at Daegu.
Your
Grandfather.
Grandfather. Oh,
이거 드레스를
He's
입으면
beautiful.
God.
Hey, does he have curls? Maybe I got my curls from him. Look at all those curls. See? My curls.
오케이.
So those are
your grandfather, right?
yes, and
Yeah.
and Dorothy. So
And
three
Dorothy,
of Benjamin,
yes.
one of Dorothy, and they're in Daegu playing outside like children do. It was their home.
Grandfather.
No,
No?
Edward. It's
Oh,
Edward.
Edward.
Yeah, he's.
Oh,
I think
okay.
he's in McCormick Seminary then,
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
or maybe he's at Worcester. He might be at Worcester because 1917.
아, 이거는 원본이 아니네요.
Yeah,
또 카페
I don't know where that
놓겠습니다.
came from. This is a letter by Edith Johnson. I think it might be typed somewhere because it's about the death of Nellie. But I would, if it's not typed, I could maybe type it up and send it to you because the handwriting is going to be impossible for you. But she's telling, it's mainly the same thing that James Adams tells his mother Nancy, but it's by Missionary Johnson's wife is writing up about the death of Nellie.
목사님 이런 건 진짜 진짜 이게
원본을
예,
크게 해서
아담스 마지막 집이에요, 진짜.
It was a huge house.
마지막 번역책 하면 거기 이제 나오면 이제 4~8호 좀 넣으면 좋은데.
예.
And then he returned, they built it in 1924. They went back to the States in 1925, and they gave it to the mission in 1926, to the Presbyterian mission. So I don't know what the house was used for after that. If that's all Andong, you probably don't need it.
그냥 일단 뭐 카피를 해놓죠. 뭐.
Pastor Park,
Yes.
Andong,
Yes.
you don't need it.
Oh,
안동 연결돼.
I know.
Okay.
But I know, but this is very, very interesting.
Oh, yes,
photograph.
that's true.
Yeah, in
Of the
Korea.
school, of the
That's
school.
why we need.
Okay, all right. Because, yeah, I thought that's why I brought it, because of all the Korean, it was a Korean and Japanese students.
Korean girls had
Korean
Yeah.
and Japanese.
Korean and Japanese.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what the missionary mothers did is they brought back 2 dolls from the United States. They gave them to 2 little missionary girls, and they said, here, give these as a gift, one to a Korean girl,
They
one
got
to a Japanese
Japanese,
girl.
Japanese,
같이 이제
flag.
Yeah.
Yeah, and swing.
Yes, because this is 1920. Let's see, PJ was born in 25, so it's probably 1927. Is there a date on there?
그럼 어떡하지? 내일 아침에
To me, it
8시
just seemed
반에
like a
출발해야
setup,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, like a.
그러면은 거기
Is
앞에서
Just-
there any flags in there?
He saw a Japanese
지금
flag.
일단은
China,
그
Japanese, yeah.
군중생 장로님
Yeah, Japanese definitely
이거
was in
나가신다고
control then.
하시거든요. 근데 목사님, 제가 지금 몸이 너무
Oh, doesn't he look
내일
Japanese?
연차를 좀 써야 될 것 같습니다.
I can't tell the difference.
지금 링거 맞을지 모르겠어요.
Is that a Japanese?
어? Japanese?
Yeah, Japanese guy. Okay, that's our grandfather.
어.
That's Aunt PJ, Aunt Phyllis Jean. Presentation of friendship dolls. Ah, I should write that in for you. Friendship dolls.
오케이.
You probably don't have a. See, it's broken off, but it is. It's missionaries. Okay, let's see.
목사님 이거 카피 좀 하고
네.
오겠습니다.
Okay, I should write this down. It's the word is friendship. Presentation of friendship
friendship
dolls.
dolls?
Yeah, so it's END.
예, 오케이.
It's not nothing there to write on.
예, 예.
If you can remember that.
I remember.
Okay, there you go. Because in this, I thought it's not. It's just all missionaries. You want Koreans, I think. So, yeah. So these 2 pages probably.
오케이. 어? 자, U.
So we'll
예.
think that.
USB.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is this the one we brought?
야, 네,
Okay.
old copy.
Okay. Okay. So then, are you interested in this letter by Edith Johnson?
그 서울 not concerned 아마.
Okay, it's about the death of Nellie Adams. But if you're not, that's fine because it's going to be a lot of work to read it. I did read it, but it mainly says the same thing that James Adams's letter to his mother says about the death of Nellie.
그럼 넬리
This is the wife of Dr. Johnson, missionary Johnson.
Johnson. Okay.
She is
Dr.
writing
Johnson.
to Americans about the death of Nellie Adams.
어, yeah.
And so it's Mrs. Johnson writing home about Mrs. Adams died this morning. And so she writes her experience of that happening.
그러면 그 Johnson 그 write this document?
This is the handwriting of Edith Johnson, Mrs. Woodbridge Johnson. This is the doctor who tried to keep Nellie alive, missionary Johnson. And so she was very close friends with Nellie. So she's writing home to her church about the death of Nellie Dick Adams. That's what this letter is about. And then at the end, she says, oh, and then Charles Sawtelle died 2 weeks later. And so she mentions that too. So December 1909. So, but I could, I might type this up because it's too hard to read. Okay, so is that everything? I can put things back? Okay. I'm afraid I gave away the picture of J.E. and Ned and Jack Adams. I'm really sorry I did. Didn't mean to do that.
Adams gift for you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Dirty
Oh.
gift for you. The Korean tea.
Oh, it's tea.
Yeah.
Oh, tea. Oh.
Ooh.
Picture of
Yeah, the picture itself is a nice gift.
Yeah.
Is it a sliding box? Looks like it. Oh, look at all those teas.
Oh, wow. Well, at least it's light.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow. Isn't that pretty?
Give us tea for life. Give a little as we can.
Become a connoisseur of tea.
Yeah.
Raisin tea.
Oh my.
Angelic tea.
Oh, that sounds good.
Chrysanthemum tea.
Oh, that's good too. That's chamomile, isn't it?
A horse ben, B-E-E-N tea. Maybe, I have no
Horse
idea.
bat.
Horse
Horse
bend.
ben.
Horse B-E-E-N. Bean, maybe is what they thought tried to do.
Yeah, but I don't know if I want to
Horse
eat a horse bean.
Yeah. Maybe just said kidney stones or something.
Jimmy, that's not very pleasant.
Over here.
Okay.
Get one without the other.
All right, then.
Pastor Choi, we have too many gift books,
Yeah.
and most of them are in Korean. We wonder if we could give some back to you for your library,
Yeah.
because it'll be too heavy to carry home, and once they get there, it's all Korean, so I can't read it.
Oh yeah.
So if that's okay, we'll bring some back to you.
Yeah.
Somebody gave us, I forget.
Yeah.
The middle school, the high school, some
Okay.
different churches.
Okay.
Yeah.
The weight would probably be too much.
Yeah. Okay.
So we'll pick the ones that we can either have a lot of pictures or there's some English. And then we
Jim
could,
Adams 여기 저기 email address right?
Email?
Yeah.
Okay.
now,
Yeah.
aside from all this, what else did you want me to explain?
Yeah.
I can sort all this out later. So John, that pastor who came in, the younger man, he's the one who's taking us to Seoul.
Okay.
Thank you. Name card. Okay. My email
Oh,
address.
good.
Okay.
Okay.
And is your name Young
name?
Yeah.
Young In?
Yeah.
Young
K
In.
Young
Okay.
여기는 안 돼 있나?
Young In.
네. 여기는 아마
So I saw a picture that did not look like you.
최영인.
Well, is,
Okay.
Ah, thank you.
Yeah.
is your name on here?
Right here.
Yeah, okay.
Did you get that one?
No.
He'll get you one. I think he just went off to get you one.
Just the church email me?
No, I think Dojo is his nickname or something.
Okay. There, good. I can remember that.
So, wait, you're a visiting
Yeah,
professor?
visit professor.
Visiting,
lecture.
though.
Yeah?
Are you visiting? That means you're only there.
Yeah, 그냥 only one time.
One
lecture.
year? One
Yeah.
semester?
Yeah.
And then what happens? Do you visit someplace else?
Yeah.
No, then he comes back
I-
here. Are you pastor and visiting professor?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
대신 그 seminary. Yeah.
Oh,
대신
it's
university.
a seminary here,
seminary.
so you're teaching at the seminary.
Oh, so this is here in. No, this is not in Daegu.
No, at 경산. Nearby 경산. Yeah. 대구. Next to 경산.
Oh,
there's a-
okay.
yeah,
Next door. Okay. Okay. Good. Okay, I'll get all this. There we go. Back in order. So did you have any questions about William Baird of Korea or
Okay.
any of those documents?
Oh yeah. Good.
Okay.
Yeah.
John, can you take this photograph out and put it safely away? Oh, let me
I
take
don't know where
this.
The funeral thing came from one of your
Oh.
pages.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is
Any period,
Annie Baird.
right? Yeah.
That was, I
woman
think, in here.
seminary. A woman 보자. What is about Biden?
Oh, Grandpa probably wrote that on there.
Yeah, yeah.
Someone that I don't know from the Women's Presbyterian Board of Foreign
Okay.
Missions,
Oh.
St. Louis, Missouri. Well, they published it,
Mm.
but I don't know who Anna Hopkins is.
Mm.
But it's more of an inspirational tract about.
Anna Hopkins is the woman.
She wrote this. Oh, and she's quoting from. You have a copy of the funeral service. Remember?
Oh, Topeka, Kansas Topeka Church.
Okay.
Word from the pastor of the whole church in Topeka,
Yeah.
Kansas.
See
Topeka.
this. The pastor is Dr. Esty,
Mm.
and she's quoting from him from this sermon.
Mm.
So I think she just was writing an inspirational.
Mm.
Oh, actually, no, because this is Annie Laurie. Okay, this is about Nellie. So because then, 9 from 16 is 7. So this is about Nellie. 7 years later, Topeka holds a funeral for Annie Laurie Adams Baird. And the same pastor, Dr. Esty, he does a funeral service for Annie Laurie Adams Baird in Topeka, Kansas at the First Presbyterian Church. So this woman, she's gathering like William Baird says this about her. This is a woman who I gave you an article by her. She was in Korean missionary. She says this about her. Arthur Brown, he's the secretary of the. He says that she's writing a memorial to Annie Adams Baird, and this is what her pastor said about her. So it's in her honor. It's a little memorial tract, memorial. And someone gave this one to my grandfather, Ben. It was like, this is for you, Ben. So it's, I don't know who Anna Hopkins is, but she wrote this in honor of Annie Baird. So it's her record as a missionary began in 1890. They left for Korea. So you probably copied this, right?
Yeah, copy.
Yeah, and they arrived in like January of 91. So that's what that's about. It's very old. The staples have rusted. And so I think that was in this book that her son wrote about, her husband. Okay. So did you have any questions about? Okay, so there's that. Jimmy, this is kind of nice. Annie Laurie says, I first knew Nellie Dick when she was a child of 5 and I of 7. With her large dark eyes, fair complexion, and golden hair, I thought her one of the most beautiful little girls I had ever seen.
And even at 7, she knew.
And I had never known a gentler one. We were 17 and 19 when we met again.
Wow. 10
That's
years
really
later.
interesting if she met her at...
Okay. This is thank you card for you, Jim, our writing pastor, John and.
Oh, that's great.
They put pictures in of us.
That's funny.
Oh, wow.
Oh my goodness, they've got the technology. Oh my goodness.
They got the
Okay, let me look at yours so he can look at
they
that
got
one.
the kick in there.
What were you
I'm doing
kicking?
the kick.
Ah,
He's in a lineup or something.
oh, they got our ice cream cones.
Yeah. And the egg.
But you know what? Everyone's written in here.
Oh, wow. Oh, great. Wow, we'll have to read it. All right. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that
Somebody
was
says,
happy
oh, Hopi,
card.
it's Hopi.
Oh, that Hopi? Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So do you have any more questions about this or this or this.
Yeah. You read the this version of the script. You read. Okay.
So this is the first 6 pages are his writing called The Dispensation of the Spirit.
Yeah.
And then this is a story, just one
Okay.
story about a Korean. Could
Yeah.
you read, could it,
Yeah.
did this copy well? It might have been
the
very
copy, yeah,
dark.
yeah.
Okay. And I think oh, I love this story. He tells this story, you know, the man who would not pay the tax to worship his ancestor, the Korean man. I don't know if you've read this yet. He tells the same story in here. But one place he tells it better. Let's see. I think I like how it's told here. Anyway, we don't have time for that. So this is by James Adams. He just wrote The Man Possessed of an Evil Spirit. He wrote this by itself as a story. And then short article by him in Some Missionary. And I don't know the date of that. Oh, but this is about your Korean missionary, or your Korean evangelist who was the healer. I was excited because I'd read about, so the picture I just gave you, Kim Ik-tu.
Kim Ik-tu.
Kim Ik-tu. So I hope you copied this.
Oh, yeah.
Because this is, who's writing it? Let's find out who wrote it. Because this was so interesting. He just had the gift of healing. Very, very fragile. Sharp. Missionary Sharp, I guess. I guess that was written by him. So it's about that Korean.
Kim
Yeah.
Ik-tu, very famous.
Yes, the
pastor.
famous one. Yes, that we had.
Famous
You know, I
pastor.
just gave you that
Okay.
picture
Yeah.
of him. So I hope you copied this. Did you?
아마 카피가 돼 있을 건데.
Okay, better be sure. This is a really interesting story about a Korean girl who her parents sold her to be a concubine, but she was a Christian. And so Missionary Adams, with the help of smart Korean men, they pulled all this, they did everything they could, and they used social pressure, embarrassment, you know, what's the right thing to do, and they managed to get the girl released from this having to be a second wife.
Second wife.
And James Adams, so May 1916 this was published, and James Adams was the missionary who worked with the Koreans to get this girl released from being a second wife and actually like a concubine. Because she was a Christian and she did not want to do it, but her parents were determined that they would keep the money and the fields they had been given for her to, they had sold her basically. But the missionary got her freedom for her. It's a wonderful story. This I gave to the middle school and the high school because he's writing about Christian education. So I made a copy for them. This I typed you a copy. This is the letter about the Christianity of war. You have that. But this is a good copy too. This is before he came to, this is the year between McCormick Seminary and coming to Korea. He was a traveling secretary. So he wrote this in America. And this is 1922. He is, Missionary Adams is trying to get A.G. Wellborn, another missionary. He's trying to get him go back to Korea, evangelize. But no, wait, that was somebody else, I think. That was Sharp. Sharp, missionary Sharp. J.E. Adams was trying to get Sharp to go back to Korea, but he had a son who needed to be in the States, I think. And so, 22. And then this is, Wellborn was over there in Korea, and they, he says,
Where is it? Wellborn? In
missionary
America?
Wellborn. No, he was, I think he was in Andong,
Andong.
but he was a friend of James Adams. And so he was trying to get Edward to be assigned to Daegu instead of Johyung.
Instead of
That is spelled differently now. I saw it spelled a different way.
Cheryong.
But Edward came to Daegu only after his father left. He came and replaced him here. So it's might not be that interesting. But here is Carolyn writing a little note. She's writing a little note to Mr. Sharp. Mr. Adams is slowly gaining. So that's
Yeah.
probably not very interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then on here, I'll make a good copy of that for you. Oh, we do need to put that back in here. That's very fragile. But that's about your there, we can put it in here.
Adams family very, very important treasure.
Yes. Yeah, I read this and I thought, wow. He was careful. He's very important Korean. Okay. Okay, is there anything else in here I need to talk to you about? You have the blue book about Henry Bruin, right? 40 Years in Korea. You have that book?
No, I don't.
I think you do. Somebody told me you did.
뭐 이렇게 딱
40 Years in Korea by
The big blue.
the big blue book.
Inches thick.
I think someone told me you own that book already. You have the book 40 Years in Korea.
40
Right, by Clara Bruin.
Bruin.
Collected all this material from Henry Bruin's 40 Years in Daegu. You have that?
저기 portrait book. Or?
Well, I brought it, but someone said that you already had that, so it's back at our apartment.
Only photograph book, academic.
No.
book, yeah.
I mean,
Other?
it's a published book already. It was from like 1987, and the widow of Henry Bruin had collected everything and put it in one book. Okay, well, this is getting too complicated.
I don't know that right.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
never mind. But these are stories from Nellie, from her itinerating. And I love one old woman, such a hungry look in her eyes, saying she had heard of a place, a good place, where people go when they die. I need to change that to die. And she wanted to hear more of it and go there too. This word should be die. It's a type.
No day, no die. 예, 네,
Die.
die.
Where people go when they die.
예, okay.
That's.
Yeah.
She just got the wrong word. I'm
Correct.
sorry.
Okay.
Once you dyed it.
Okay. And then The same story is told here.
Mm.
It's not as well told. I think this is Nellie's words. I think someone edited it and changed it, but this is told better by Nellie right here. Same story. Oh, looks like a rough draft. I'm sorry I let you have that. So these are Nellie's reports, and you may
Yeah.
have those already.
Okay,
Do you
then-
have those already?
Really very interesting. Our church, Nelly is a J. Adams' wife.
Yes.
I'm the first time really writing documentary or letter and reporter. Yeah.
This is the first time you've had these?
First time, yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
yeah, good,
Yeah.
because she does a good job writing, I
okay.
think. And you get when they get to go out in the country, she's so happy. She gets to go out of the city and out to the country. And so Nellie, yeah, these are all Nellie's, and there's her handwriting. 1908, she was sick. It's her handwriting. So if you have, this is my Aunt Dot's handwriting, little girl. They're thanking James Adams' sister, Ella. She sent, so this is Ella Adams. So she's thanking her sister-in-law who sent gifts that they had asked her to send from Philadelphia. And then she's just, okay. Oh, good. You see this? This is this. This is typed up.
Okay.
So this is what you want, not this. This is
okay.
too hard. And the handwriting's too hard. Right. Yeah, this someone took this and they typed it up for you.
Okay.
Mrs. Adams died this morning. So right here, Mrs. Adams died this morning.
Okay.
So someone has typed that. And this is Mrs. Woodbridge Johnson. So you have that letter.
This is Johnson, Dr. Johnson?
Dr. Johnson's wife,
Wife. Who?
Edith.
Okay.
So that's why this is important. It's missionary Johnson, missionary Adams, missionary Bruin. You have three missionaries. And this is the doctor's wife. So she knew, she was worried about her husband staying up with Nellie and kind of getting sick himself. She was worried about him. Wood is Woodbridge, her husband. It's his nickname. Wood is so far bearing up wonderfully under the strain because he was a doctor and he failed. She died. So he felt, I failed. I'm a doctor. I could not help. I could not save her. The Lord was with him, and I pray he may be with him now. This is his wife. He is trying to sleep, and I am on guard. She's protecting her husband. Wood says the germs of this dysentery had been in her system for some time. Anyway, so that's who that is the doctor's wife wrote this.
Okay.
So you don't need this because you couldn't read it anyway. So this is beautiful. This is it's maybe too much material for you.
You're going to be
Oh.
an Adams Family specialist
Yeah.
by the time you're done with this stuff.
And this is so important because this is Annie Laurie. This is Annie Laurie wrote this about Nellie's death. Annie Laurie Adams Baird. And so this is James's sister. And she said, last night a telegram came from Ned. That is James Adams, her brother,
Her brother.
her little brother. Because Annie and Arthur are twins, and they're child 6 and 7. James is number 8. So they're like this. They're very close. So she said a telegram came from James Adams, Ned, her brother, saying, Nellie, miscarriage, great hemorrhage, dysentery very low, pray. So she said, shall I come? And come. So this is her brother. They're very close. And so she goes, but before she gets there, well, let me think. Was she there yet? Nellie died first, but she went and she was there with the children. The oldest son, Edward, was not there. He was at Chefoo for a boarding school in China. the missionaries sent their children across the sea to China to a boarding school called Cheifu.
I don't know. China boarding school. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, it was for missionary and business children. It was run by the British, and we have our grandfather's yearbook from Cheifu. But then, you know, Annie Laurie opened a foreign school up north, so they didn't have to go to China anymore. So I'll try to find that history. But anyway, so Edward was older. He was not. So he was 14 already. When his mother died, he was 14. But the other children were young enough; they were still home.
영락.
Yeah, young. George was only 2, and Dot. On the day of Dorothy's birthday, her mother got buried. That was the funeral. Was Dorothy's birthday. November 2nd is Dorothy Adams's birthday. When Nellie died, when she got buried, it was her daughter's birthday. Yeah. And her daughter turned, her daughter turned 10 on the day her mother was buried. Yeah.
근데 이제 넬리 아까 이제 죽은 이벤트 사건을 이제 닥터 존슨에게 이제 사모에게도 이제 편지를 쓰고 한 내용들이 다 여기 이제 안에.
그래요?
예.
Very important. Letter.
The letter, letter from Dr. Johnson's wife, but it's typed up. Someone typed it up. Handwritten letter is a little hard.
Type.
And then this is the handwritten letter from James to his mother. Someone typed it up for you. But you might want to like photograph the handwritten letter to show his handwriting.
Yes, right.
Okay.
이제 우리가 다 카피가 됐고 지금은 하고 있어요.
네, 지금 하고 있습니다.
Okay. So I'm thinking that this is where
Pastor Park, I'm trying to remember. Who's Pastor Song?
성 내일 하고
네.
갈 거잖아. 그거 지금
Tomorrow. No. 그때 언제 갔었지? 성이 언제 갔었지? Maybe he will tomorrow. Tomorrow he will charge you in Seoul. 광화문 or
광화문 and
광화문.
경복궁 and 양화진 선교사의 뭐가 뭐지?
양화진 missionary tomb. Yeah.
oh, here it is.
Missionary School.
I was
Yeah.
looking.
투어 가이드가 성 패스터.
Okay.
Oh, the pastor is saying, I was looking for this
He was-
line.
He was here.
I regret that I did not
Yeah.
tell Nellie
he's
sooner.
Yeah.
You were a good soldier, but he said,
Yeah.
Making copies.
for
Yeah.
she
Yes,
was
right.
a brave soul. That's what he said of his wife, Nellie.
Yeah.
She was a brave soul.
he
brave
wanted
soul.
to
Yeah.
brave
Yes,
soul.
yeah. I know I'd read this somewhere. This is her husband speaking of her. And he regrets he did not tell her sooner that you're just about to die. Because then she could have said, oh, tell this to Edward, tell this to Dorothy. But she was gone. But have you ever had this letter before?
No.
This is amazing. He says, there was no question but she was going immediately. She was just on the edge. And I told her that the master was calling her. She said, do you mean I cannot live? I answered, yes. Almost immediately the change came. Without further words, she looked off and up into space as though she saw someone and stretched out her hands towards them. I asked her, do you see him, sweetheart? She answered, yes, yes. I said, tell him that I bear witness. You are a good soldier. She was gone. She didn't hear it. The rending of the soul and body had already come. The spirit was gone. So I regret I did not tell her sooner. You were a good soldier. That's okay. I don't think she might. She was a brave soul. But the way it was ordered was she just died very quickly. He said, God ordered it that way. It's all right. But that's a very moving part because it helped him. He said, when she said, yes, I see him, that really helped him.
This is J.E.
Yeah, telling his
wife.
mom about Nellie.
Oh,
He's writing to his mother in Topeka. It's a really long letter.
yeah.
So, and she never ceased to be exclusively, even with the coming of later missionaries, she never ceased to be exclusively Our Lady. I think they called her An Moksa Puin. Can you, Moksa, like pastor, teacher?
pastor teacher, the 목사님, 목사.
Moksa,
Yeah.
Moksa.
Yeah, yeah.
And but then lady, Puin, something like that.
그냥 여사?
No, it was
그 목사 as wife, Korean name, 뭐 사모님?
It was An. Maybe that was Adams.
예.
Moksa.
예, 목사.
And then it was a P word, like Puin or something.
Yeah.
I think it means lady.
예, lady.
Lady.
lady는
What would that be? Puin?
아니 사모 이렇게 사모. 네. 목사 사모. Difficult pronunciation. Yeah.
Okay, but this was I know it was a P word.
P?
Yeah, it was a word that meant woman or lady.
James. You spell called J
Yeah, J.
A
M.
M C
C. A. R.
C A R
R. R.
R M
M. N.
N. Okay.
At Gmail. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I say jam car like an auto. MN is for Minnesota,
Minnesota.
where I live.
Minnesota.
You know, I should write. This is Annie is
어,
Annie Baird.
any
You have
bear,
a
okay, okay.
Sticky note right here.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
put it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So when you have a copy of this, well, this letter is Annie. Letter to who was it to? Her mother?
Any letter two.
My dear ones, all. So says copy of letter found in possession of Aunt
Oh.
Ellie Dick. Huh. Oh, Ellie. Aunt Ellie. Oh. Okay. She wrote to Ella Adams, probably. To,
Oh,
yeah.
So,
Okay.
yeah. Just
Okay,
take,
anyway.
Take a break time.
Yeah. It's enough.
Break time.
Letter to family by
Yeah.
Annie Baird. So
Okay.
that's if you. This Anne is Annie Baird. Okay, enough. You can always email questions.
야, 이제 저기 I will send for your the picture. Take photo all together photo. I will send you. Jim,
Send you
or,
pictures.
Yeah.
Dottie,
Uh-huh.
yeah. USB or yeah, 그 email sent to you.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
예, 안동, 부산, 대구, 예, 예,
경주, 경주.
예.
Pictures from all those.
Yeah, I
places.
think so.
Each day, yeah.
Yeah.
We only have thousands and thousands of pictures.
Yeah, okay.
And you have Dottie's email
Yeah,
too,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
Okay.
Pastor Park is always. We are always.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing you. I'm looking forward to seeing you. Okay,
Yeah,
I think that's all.
yeah. 그러면
Very good.
Me. I just have to put all this back in my black notebook, wherever that got to.